Acts 13, 33 through 35. God hath fulfilled the same unto us, their children, in that he hath raised up Jesus again, as it is also written in the second psalm, Thou art my Son, this day have I begotten thee. And as concerning that he raised him up from the dead, now no more to return to corruption, he said, who's saying? God. He said on this wise, I will give you the sure mercies of David. Wherefore, he saith also in another psalm, Thou shalt not suffer thine Holy One to see corruption. Now wait a minute, I want you to get this. This might be, you got to think this through, all right? God said in the second psalm, Psalm chapter 2, Thou art my Son, this day have I begotten thee. All right, so God says that to presumably Jesus, right? All right? And then verse 34 says, He said on this wise, I will give you the sure mercies of David. He's talking about Jesus. All right? Wherefore, he saith also, that'd be God, right? God's doing the talking, both these two incidents, right? Now, here's the third. Wherefore, he saith also in another psalm, Thou shalt not suffer thine Holy One to see corruption. Oh, wait a minute. Who's doing the talking? Who's doing the talking there? That'd be Jesus. You see that? Look, turn to Psalm 16, verse 10. That's the other psalm, another psalm he's talking about. Keep in mind, God the Father says, Thou art my Son, this day have I begotten thee. God the Father says, on this wise, I will give you the sure mercy of the David. He's talking to Jesus. Right? Prophetic, Thou art my Son, this day have I begotten thee. It's talking about, obviously, that's Jesus the Son. I will give you the sure mercies of David. That's also a promise that God made, the Father to the Son. And he says, Wherefore he saith also, so the same person that's saying those two things to Jesus, the same person is saying, Thou shalt not suffer thine Holy One to see corruption. But in Psalm 10, that's Jesus talking to the Father. That right there is proof that God is talking to His Son, and when the Son talks back to the Father, it's still the Father. It's the same voice that said, This day, Thou art my Son. Do you see that? All right? He said in the second psalm, Thou art my Son. God the Father talking to God the Son. Thou art my Son. This day have I begotten thee. And he said on this wise, I will give you the sure mercies of David. And then he, the same God, he said in another psalm, Thou wilt not leave my soul in hell. That means Jesus the Father too. Because there's only one God. It's not a mistake in your Bible. Oh, God got mixed up his conversation. No, that was the Son talking. Of course it was the Son, because the Son is the Father. The Father, Son, there's only one God. That's an amazing proof right there.